spoken about Phantasm before, but on our old channel. So it'll be nice to speak about it again.
Good,
In
because
honour of the
you
boys.
you just said that live.
Yes. Yeah.
We're live.
Okay.
We're live.
That's good.
And a 1, and a 2, and a... Hello, you on YouTube. My camera's falling down.
Great start, Dan.
Great start. Hello, everyone. How are you, Tommy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Dan?
All good here. All good here.
We're still buzzing through that November noisy month, aren't we?
Noisy November.
Yes, that's the one.
That's what we're going with this month.
Yes.
And you may have noticed, you can't really see it very well. You see it more on my camera than you do Tommy's, but we've put tinsel on his. What the hell
I just tried to tilt it. It didn't really work.
we tinselled up his mic. We can't tinsel mine up. We ain't got enough tinsel.
It's like a teaser for what is to come next month.
Absolutely. I mean, you leave this room and you're in the grotto. Like,
yeah, it is a winter wonderland on the other side of that door, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, Santa's asked that we hurry up with the studio because he wants it at 5. But that's all right because that's hours away.
yeah, we'll get there.
Anyway. Right then, so Noisy November continuing today, and Tommy, you've got something very special lined up for us today.
Well, yeah, today it's going to be a tribute double bill, because as some viewers may be well aware, we've lost a couple of celebrities, beloved celebrities that
some big names
remember from the 90s in particular.
Yep.
One being Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman in Batman the Animated Series, which aired in the 90s.
He did.
And we also, as of last week, actually tragically lost Jason David Frank, who played Tommy, ironically his name was
good
Tommy.
name.
The Power Ranger. I believe he was the white Power Ranger in the film, but he was also the green Power Ranger in the show.
Right.
So we lost both of those. So I thought, best way to tribute to both of them. Let's just talk about 2 films that they were in that I grew up watching and adored them in.
And just by pure coincidence, they fall into the category of Noisy November as
they do.
Action films.
Action-based films, yeah. So to kick that off, let's talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, which came out in 1995, the same year me and you actually, were born.
Yep. Glad you didn't go into too much detail on that one.
Yeah, of course. So this movie is a slice of ultimate 90s corny-ass nostalgic cheese, and I absolutely love it. You got 6 25-year-old teenagers battling it out with a purple, gooey man who's been locked away for 6,000 years but somehow knows who the Brady Bunch are. The soundtrack kicks ultimate ooze ass, featuring hit songs by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Dan Hartman, Van Halen, and also, as we spoke about beforehand, what were the names of those artists again?
Shampoo,
yeah.
Shampoo, and Snap.
Snap, that's it. Yeah, because I'm glad you knew who the artists were, because I've always known the songs, but I've never known the artists. So that was
What, you don't have the CD?
Not yet.
You don't have the platinum?
I do have some of these songs downloaded, by the way, because they're just that damn good.
I'd love to play them, but the YouTube police, I can sit there right there. We accidentally played like a second of film. Don't know what was playing. But they're on our tail right now.
No,
they don't like you very much.
Don't shoot us! Don't shoot us!
We just talk about them, guys.
You got some big-breasted Xena-type warrior who's got to lead the Power Rangers to their destiny with the most laughable of dialogue. The film pays homage to The Wizard of Oz with giant vulture henchmen, as well as Star Wars with its big CGI action space battle at the end. So that's where the action comes into it, because it has a big finale. I don't know if you know that much about the Power Rangers, but do you know the fact that they all ride in these like little robots, and then all the robots come together to make a Megazord, which is like a big giant mega robot.
So it's like crashing a load of cars to have a bus.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, very similar.
I did not know that.
So that's basically what happens.
I thought they flew.
No, they don't fly. They don't have any particular power. They're called the Power Rangers because they're just very powerful when it comes to fighting. That's it, really. But ultimately, this film is just a 90s treasure, and I'm sure a lot of people out there can agree with me. It's Jason David Frank's performance as the leader of the Power Rangers, Tommy, that really brings it home. It's just so much fun, and I had so much fun watching it as a kid, and I'm very saddened, that he passed away so young, because he was only 49 years of age. But I believe I did actually meet him at Comic-Con
Did you really?
Yeah, 7 years ago, I met him at Comic-Con.
You did not go to Comic-Con 7 years ago.
I've been 4 more times since then. But yeah, I met him in person. I even got my DVD of this film autographed by him. So,
Nice.
So, you know, one very good thing to come out of such a tragic passing is that I now own a relic of something very important that no one can get anymore.
Yeah, you do.
You know. So, you know, I am so just pleased that I have that relic to stay with me, as it were, because the guy was such a legend.
Absolutely.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie is, or the way I'm going to phrase this the way I wrote it. MMPR is the MVP of cheesy 90s movies. It knows exactly what it is.
It's a cheesy way to write it as well.
Yeah. This movie knows exactly what it is, and it embraces it. Appreciate it. Study it. Honour it. And that's how I ended my review for it, Dan. I give this film 3 stars out of 5, purely because, look, it's not going to be nominated for any Academy Awards or anything, but it's just an innocent, fun film that I grew up watching and adoring, and can still watch today and just have a great laugh.
That fair dues.
You know, and hats off to Jason David Frank, wherever you are. This is tribute to you, my friend. It was great to meet you in person, and yeah, this film will live on in your honour. Cue applause.
Yeah, we don't have a big audience to applaud, I'm afraid.
No.
Otherwise, that would have sounded a lot better. But no, the sentiment stands.
Yeah, the sentiment still stands, you know, and I'm just chuffed to bits that I was able to talk about that with you, Dan. But now let's move on to another honourable film to mention.
Go.
Which is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, which came out in 1993. So we weren't born at that point.
No, this outlives us.
This film is a film that ranks as my all-time favourite Batman film. A lot of people may be surprised, but this beats all of the live-action ones for me. Let's get into why. First off, this film was released in the Christmas of 1993, garnering an underperformance at the box office, but positive reviews from those who did watch it. In a period where Tim Burton's live-action Batman films were gaining great reviews, but not a positive reception from children, the animated movie route would clearly appeal better to them. Okay, it appeals better to kids, but somehow they still manage to keep it stoic enough so adults can respect the film and the story it wants to tell. Sure, Batman Begins told a fantastic origin, and The Dark Knight had a brilliant Joker performance, but this film happens to contain both and not collapse under its own weight. Kevin Conroy, sadly no longer with us, he portrays Batman slash Bruce Wayne and is the definitive Batman voice without question. He conveys the emotion needed for certain scenes and the dark, intimidating voice required when in the cowl. Standout scene was when Bruce was at his parents' grave, begging for them to let him go back on his promise and live a happy life with Andrea, a woman who he's now who he's seeing, and he thinks he can give up being Batman to live a happy life, but there's something in him that just can't, you know. It's a very dramatic film. You might judge it just because it's a cartoon, but no, this is an animated moving film, and you know better than most, Dan, don't you? That
Yeah.
Animated films can be just as moving.
Iron Giant, 2 words to answer that very point.
Made by the same studio, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
The other standout scene for me was containing Bruce Wayne. It's when Andrea actually leaves him the Dear John letter, and he begins his life as Batman. So he almost had a happy life, but he loses it. So then he just falls back on his onto the promise he made his parents that he's gonna fight crime and be Batman. So in this scene, he puts on his costume, which terrifies his trusted butler, Alfred. Alfred looks on as the boy he raised descends into mad yet heroic maturity with fear and sadness at the tragic life Bruce has decided to embrace. So that's just like, it's a moving story from the get-go from that. But we all know a Batman is only as good as his Joker. And Mark Hamill goes off the wall as the clown prince of crime. He never disappoints in this role and is the definitive Joker to me without question. You as the viewer get to delve into some of the Joker's past and see how his origin links in with the origin of his archenemy, but it is not too revealing, so the Joker's origin can still remain open to interpretation. In the animated series, Joker was not allowed to kill people, as it was a series aimed at both children and adults. But in this film, the Joker gets to kill people, which is horrifying to watch, as he leaves his dead victims with the infamous, hideous Joker grin. In the series, it's left open to assume his victims are stunned and not killed, but this film really defines the version of the Joker that is the perfect balance between clown and killer, really. But Batman and the Joker are my two favourite characters, fictional characters of all time. So that's another reason why this film means so much to me. Shirley Walker, another person no longer with us, brings a very operatic score to the film, clearly inspired by Danny Elfman's theme, but takes it one step further into operatic engrossment. The opening title sequence is a 3D animated city, as the filmmakers wanted to make use of their higher budget, but did not want to ruin their Dark Deco style of drawing on black paper, which was so well received from the series. The story is very compelling and one of vengeance and love, especially with the characters of Bruce and Andrea's romance that they share, and also how they mirror each other when it comes to making commitments in life because of misfortunes they have endured. Alfred quotes to Bruce at the end of the film, "I watch you walk the edge of that abyss every night. I thank heaven that you have not fallen into it," expressing his worry that Batman himself could lose control and become a cold-blooded murderer one day. Alfred is Bruce's moral compass in the film, and in any version of Batman, really, and I don't think he gets enough credit. So to close, this film has grown hugely in popularity over the past 2 decades and has everything that I respect about the Batman world in its 90-minute runtime. It's a very short film, as most animated films in the 90s were, as you probably know.
Perfect length is how I describe them.
Yeah, a compelling Batman origin, an unpredictable Joker, an epic film score, and overall a compelling story which teaches you about desires and impulses versus action and choice. And on that note, Dan, this film is a 5 out of 5 from me. Oh, and I would like to
You're
add,
heading that way.
I would like to add, yeah, I didn't mention about any action in that. There's some pretty cool action in this, you know, especially when it shows how Batman was learning to become Batman. Like he does some nights that don't go too well trying to fight crime, and there's some fights in it. So there is action in it. It applies for Noisy November, but more so it applies as a tribute to Kevin Conroy.
Loving tribute, and a 5-star is a good one. Well, thank you, Tommy, for that.
No worries.
And of course, we do love hearing 5-star reviews. Now, it's a weird thing about Noisy November, isn't it? Because all the fireworks are pretty much over and done with after like 5 days.
They are, yeah. So
it's just it starts and goes.
I like to think of it as the bridge month between holidays. You know, we're just we're past Halloween, but we're preparing for Christmas now.
Yeah, exactly. Your half of the room is getting there. My half still needs to get in the spirit. Well, thank you very much, Tommy, for that. A double hand of today. And of course, looking at the calendar, we have only one more of this month left.
Yeah, don't worry. So we'll see it out on a good note. Don't worry.
I cannot wait to get cracking on December. That is going to be epic. Well, anyway, thank you, Tommy, for your review as always. Thank you for watching. You can follow Tommy Larkins over on Letterboxd.
Larkins 1995. Yeah, I almost said Larkins 1995 there. No, it's Larkins 95.
Larkins 95. Yes. You can also like, comment, and subscribe to this very channel. You'll be the first one, and we'd really do appreciate that. And of course, if you want Tommy to take any requests on for your reviews for our categories, just let him know. And Letterboxd is also a good place to get hold of him as well from there. But for me, Daniel Moore, I wish you well, and Tommy,
I wish you all well as well. Have a great week.